And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 35. I'm, of course, host Light VIP, and with me, I'm joined by someone I haven't cast with in years. But who are you?
Who is this? I've got my hair curly today just for you. We could be brothers, papi. Hermanos.
Beautiful. Welcome, AsherBro. AsherBro, it's been so long, but I missed you, papi.
You've casted every day 3 times a day since we last casted. I understand why it's felt like years.
That's why I always say that, papi. It's too long, papi. I'm all alone.
I've been awake the entire time casting.
Smooch, papi, smooch. But it's good to have you back. It's good to have you back, kids. Always happy to have someone to join me, so I'm not all alone.
I see what's going on here. Well, we do have a game kicking off right away on altitude, and here in the top right hand corner, I believe this is Azura for Bing Bong Air.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of altitude, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Infected. It is Control. Do you know what okay, so this is a Terran.
What are these buildings? Is that the town hall?
Is this like Age of Empires? Is that what this is?
Is this one of those video games you kids are always playing?
Oh my god. Smooth.
It seems like the red man's really angry that the green man is in his house.
The red man, he's playing a race that is always angry, so it's fine. It's don't worry about it. It's normal. He likes it.
He's angry with his friends too. I understand.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, it's been some time. Asher. I don't know if you've been tuning or keeping up with things that have been going on. I know there's been like the Wardy, like the balance patch tournament that's been happening as well, and that's on the horizon. Hopefully not too far away. And yeah, like what's been happening with you, Bob?
Well, I saw that. I saw as well that there's been the qualifiers for the team league.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it too closely, but I did see that who was it? Someone that I've played against quite a few times. Anticor. He's like a 5k Zerg.
Yeah.
Took a game off Stu.
Yeah. I was shocked. I was
So
actually
sick.
we didn't get to cast it, but I was shocked to see that he actually, went to town on Sue, which yeah, I was really surprised by. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely a crazy result there, and yeah, cool to see a few different teams going well. I think I believe the team with all the Taiwanese pros, what's it called, like Road to Code A or something?
Yeah. Code A Travelers, that's it.
Code A Travelers, that's it. Yeah, they did well as well.
Yeah, the Taiwanese players. Go Joy's a part of that team as well, and then they've been. I think they're still in the event. I think they're playing later on tonight. Qualifiers aren't over, by the way. They're going to be finishing tonight as well. But yeah, it's been really cool to see everyone come together and all these new teams form as well. You mentioned like Ping Pong Esports, which is great. It's beautiful.
I mean, these guys are a bunch of kind of like American 5k players that have been bouncing around for quite a while, so it's really cool to see them putting together a team. I mean, for like those 5k teams, I know that maybe they might not have the most chance of qualifying, but it's cool to see people just participating anyway.
Is that why they're called Ping Pong?
Why?
Did they bounce around?
So what Ping Pong means? I think it's just their brain, their NA brains. They share the brain cell, and it just kind of bounces around between them.
Fair enough. That does make a lot of sense. But yeah, the qualifiers have been over the past couple of days, and we've been doing our best to cast them, of course, here on the Cranky Ducklings. We're going to be finishing it off tonight. It's been a little bit bittersweet. The bracket has not been kind to certain teams. Team Roddy really got the rough end of the stick. They're playing tonight against Team Starcom, and
yeah, that's rough. I know they got a rough bracket, and when I was looking through the initial bracket, it seems like Platinum Heroes got a really rough bracket. Like they kind of had all the top teams in their little eighth of or quarter of the bracket.
Yeah, any team that goes up against Mystery Gaming and like the Kwangdong Freaks as well, it's brutal. It's definitely brutal. There's a bit of a skill cap, but regardless, it's also really cool to see those old teams come back, as in the teams are like the old Koreans. Like Kwangdong Freaks is really exciting. Like this TY, Stats, and Su, and Armani as well. It's like, oh, they're all back, Papi. They're all back. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool team to look at. But let's come back to that, because we've got a little bit of an all-in, kind of like a base and a half all-in coming out from Control. So he did get the scout with his Reaper that this was a Stargate build, and Azura has been kind of just banking his Phoenixes at home. So he's only going to be finding out about this just now.
Yeah, and he's not got too much left either. We have two Phoenixes turn their bait around and back across the map. We do see the third base. The army's going to be rotating on over. We do have a shield battery at least, and we're about to have an overcharge in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, we do have an overcharge coming up. I'm interested to see if he cancels his set. Okay, he's going to try to hold on to it. It looks like it is going to be a pretty tough hold. He does have an Immortal, which is going to help it. No, yeah, there we go. Last minute choice to cancel it. I think that is a good choice. Yeah,
exactly. We'll have to give up with this position, and already Control has done so much with this push. He's going to cancel his wave of bunkers, and we have another wave on the way behind this. Back at home, we have more Immortals in production. We have a Void Ray on the way as well for Azura.
Yeah, the thing with this push as well coming out from the Terran, as much as he is committing a lot of resources to making turrets, to making bunkers, you can just contain your opponent to 2 base with this. The main things that you're delaying are stim, but economically, you're actually not in a bad spot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can recover from this, but we can see that Control is kind of doubling down for the time being. Get some good voids off already. The Phoenix count, I believe, was for the most part reset. There's only 2 Phoenixes left, and as you were saying, he can expand behind this if he wants to, but he's still rallying everything across the map.
Yeah, he will be continuing to rally, at the same time throwing down some bunkers, throwing down turrets as well. These bunkers are in really nice positions, so if Azura ever wants to break out of this position with those Immortals, he's going to have to make his way through the bunkers first, and we have the tank way back holding this position as well.
Yeah, even a Mine Shot going as well. Overcharge is not going to be enough. The Void Ray does go down. The Immortals as well being targeted down as well by so many of these Marines. 2 of them are left. The Phoenix comes in from behind, but it's not really doing too much at all to the tank.
Yeah, tank not really in range anyway. Some nice micro coming out from Control is going to be keeping that Cyclone alive. And yeah, trades here are just fantastic for the Terran. As long as you're making it more and more difficult for your opponent to break out, you're not really going to mind losing units here at all.
Yeah, and he's within range of the Cyber Core, of some of the production as well. The Immortal count's slowly getting high. We now have a Colossus in production, which will help out, but it's still a ways away, and it could even be depowered as well. If we edge ever closer, we can maybe even take down that pylon.
Yeah, now that we have tanks and lids, we can start to progress this position, and it looks like Azura recognizes that as well. Wants to break out right away. He will take down the tank. He's going to take down the bunker as well, but there's more bunkers where that came from.
Yeah, we still have 3 bunkers standing strong. That 1 Liberator turrets as well. It looks like Colossus may be able to come out, but there's almost nothing else left. The Immortals are hurting so much here, and we have a 3rd CC on the way on location.
Yeah, loving the 3rd CC on location. We got some extra Raxes coming out behind that, which means that Control will be able to get stim as well. But the main thing that's keeping this position together here is the Liberators. And I mean, we don't have Phoenix anymore to take that out. The turrets are going to protect it from that Void Ray. So this is just the absolute linchpin of this position. And it means the Immortals can't really go down this ramp right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how do we really break out from this? We have even more turrets finishing up as well. I mean, eventually we probably could. We could even try to go for a backstab. I appreciate that the Void Rays are maybe going to be going across the map, maybe looking for another angle of attack, but at this point it may just be too little too late.
Yeah, it might have been nice to go earlier with those Void Rays and try to take out some of these reinforcing tanks, but especially on a map like this, I feel like it's just going to take so long for him to get across here. And yeah, this is an insane position that Control has, and he can just macro now quite comfortably with this position set up.
Yeah, he really can. The Void Rays do make their way across the map, and there are Marines back at home. As you were saying before, there is no stim, and all stim is going to be denied.
Yeah, okay, stim going down. That's some pretty nice damage for these Void Rays. We are going to be having the Marines shooing those away, but that at least puts a small delay on the continuation.
It does. Meanwhile, on the front lines, this is what I was worried about, but the Robo is depowered, so we're going to be recalling those Void Rays back home. There's only 2 Colossi. To be fair, that is a lot of Colossi, a lot of firepower here with this army, and it looks like we do see, yeah, Azura is going to try to break out once again. The Void Ray count is getting quite high.
It is, but at the same time, I think Control's done the damage that he needs at this point. And the main things, I'm kind of thinking he might want to start rallying some Vikings in as well. But here we go, the break is on.
Yeah, and we do see the slow lots coming down the ramp as well. The bunkers are going down one after the other. The Colossus even coming in from behind as well, making use of the Reaper play if you love to see. But oh my god, the turrets, they annihilate the Colossus and the Void Rays.
Yeah, the turret's going absolutely ham there. I was really worried about that, and it's why I like the Colossus flank here, is because you can avoid those turrets. But wow, look how much damage has been done. The position is broken, but at what cost? We've lost pretty much everything. This Liberator might even be able to take out that Colossus if he wants to be a bit cheeky with it, but he's going to go after the economy instead.
He's spoiled for choice. He go for the economy, the prison, the Colossus. We see Azura moving out across the map, and likewise, I was also shocked to see those turrets just kill everything. It was it was crazy how much they did. We're going for a big counterattack, but we have tanks on the high ground. We have Marines waiting as well, and +1 is now done alongside Stim.
I don't think he did it, but if you ever want to get really cheeky with those positions, you can also get turret range. It's pretty funny, but there we go. Stim is finished up. We see some beautiful force fields, but I am not sure it's going to be enough here.
Asher, why do you say that like you've done it before? What's...
I haven't, but I wish I did. I've seen Craig do it before. It was pretty funny.
Your animals. GG gets called, and Control will take game number 1.
GG. Really nice all-in and reaction to the Stargate, and yeah, I think Azura will be on notice now that he needs to be a bit more active with this Phoenix, just in case something like this happens.
Yeah, unfortunately wasn't able to catch wind of what was going on. Also really impressive that Control was able to do that on altitude as well, a bit of a larger map, and for him to keep it hidden for as long as he did is that much more impressive. So yeah, really well done here by Control. For those wondering, for those who maybe not be too familiar with him, but he's more of an old school player. He is a Korean Terran, of course. He did his military service. He came back like at the very start of the year, but he never really found his footing, and it's good to see him here competing again. Good to see it.
Yeah, Control's a player that's kind of been here and there, likes to compete, especially in these kind of tournaments, and he is a really fun player to watch. He's extremely aggressive, so he always makes for fun games.
Definitely. Oh, and we'll see if he can go a little bit further in this tournament. Already taking the first game against Azura is really impressive. We'll see if he can do something like that again as we do get ready for the next game. Also, Asher, mate, your bed has never looked cleaner. I'll be... I don't know if it's just because you like change the sheets.
Everything changes.
It actually looks... It actually looks like clean, you know? It's like... You're crazy, Papi.
Yeah, it's because I wake up and things happen in between me getting to my computer. It's not just a beeline. It's not just you get out, you get in the seat. It's amazing.
Oh my god. It's like
everything has changed.
It's like you're in a new apartment. It's like a new Asher. Oh my god.
Wait.
This is
wrong map?
Yeah, this is not. I can't speak to them. I can't.
I think they're getting there. I like the panic. Like, why? Why ban?
We should
burn it down. Let's meet in the middle and destroy the map.
Oh my god. Fun fact: this was not Ancient Cistern. This was Ancient Clistern. There's an L instead of an I.
Okay. I didn't really see what was different about the map, but
wait. The gases were rich Vespian gases, and there was a gold mineral patch in the middle of the mineral patches. Yeah.
Oh, come on, we should have played it out. See what happens. But why would they call that Ancient Clistern? Like, it's the least informative name.
Oh my god, I know. It's for that purpose. It's to trick people. It's Ancient Clistern LE. Like they added the LE to it as well.
It's like a barcode, just a little bit of barcode hiding between the C and the S.
I like how I pointed that out, and Azura in the chat is like, "Oh, I'm a Protoss, I can't read."
It's fair, yeah. Okay, we've got the I this time.
Yeah.
I've never thought to check that, but yeah, and it's not Ain't Clint and Clint cistern.
Beautiful.
We're okay.
All right. We're good. We're going to be getting into game number 2. Of course, Control does have a 1-0 lead, but Azura's a pretty powerful player in his own right, and we shouldn't be sleeping on Azura.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these two players, especially with Control having taken a little bit of a break as well, should be pretty evenly matched. Those kind of all-in games can look a bit one-sided sometimes, but I don't think it necessarily means that there's a huge skill difference here. Anyway, in the bottom left-hand corner, the green Protoss. This is Azura.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Sister, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Infected. It is Control. Okay, the question becomes, Bappy, does Rufus, does he know that there's a change in the world? Is he self-aware?
I mean,
is he?
He's aware, but he sleeps for like... You know, cats sleep like 20 hours a day. Like, they're just asleep the whole day.
Yeah.
It's a good life.
And when they're not asleep, they're eating, they're getting pets, they're getting praise.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. He's just trying to get some food. The only thing that might be different, he'll be like, why are you out? Why are you out at night? Just come back and feed me. But as long as I'm here at the meal times, no issues.
There you go. So like, you've been out there, you've been productive, you've been like making your bed and like vacuuming the floor, and Rufus, he's just been asleep the entire. He doesn't notice. He doesn't know. Yeah.
No. No, he's just like, okay, you do you. I'm trying to think what I used to do with him when I went out. Like, because I used to go out pretty late at night. I'm like, did I feed him? Like,
oh my god,
what did I used to do? I mean, he's alive, so I must have fed him.
You should feed him.
Yeah, no, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
I'll continue to feed him. Don't worry.
Oh god, it's good. It's good to see, Papi. It's good to see. Good to see. But the most important question: when are we Diabloing, Papi?
I should download it. I kind of want to play. Resurrected.
Oh my god, we have to finish the story, Papi. We have to finish. We need to know.
I don't know if you saw it, but I posted this. Grubby did a tweet about it. He was saying that he was looking at Twitch at the viewership numbers, and Warcraft 3 had more viewers than Diablo 4.
Oh my god. No
like
shot.
Twice as many.
No shot. Oh my god.
Tragic.
Yeah,
D4 really dropped off. I don't really know what happened, but it was out for like 3 weeks and then everyone stopped playing it.
Well, everyone finished the story,
Yeah, okay. I think that must be it, because I think it was everyone finished the story and they were hoping that Act 1 would breathe life back into it, and it just didn't.
Yeah. I did.
Not Act 1, sorry. What's it called?
The season. That's it. The first season.
Season 1. That's
yeah. That's the biggest issue, right? Like, the seasons don't seem too appetizing to me, just because like I think the biggest criticism is that like all the you have to redo all the dungeons and you have to grind like all these other like unlocks again, and it's like we just did it, like
True.
Oh my god. But maybe it'll get better with future seasons. Maybe we'll finish the game. Maybe.
Yeah, actually, we can finish the game. We can do that. That's not a bad goal. All right, let's have a look what's going on in this game. It looks like we did have a scan coming down from Control, so he got full scouting. He's just playing a very standard build, and he is coming up against, by the looks of it, a 4-gate blink, 3-gate blink, sorry.
There's gonna be 3-gate blink soldiers here from Azura, so nothing too crazy. I think it's important to point out that this time there is no Stargate Emperor. This time there's a Twilight Council with blink on the way, so very different compared to the previous game. But because it's 3 gateways, we can see that Azura isn't gonna be too aggressive, isn't gonna be too in the face of Control.
Yeah, so pretty standard play coming out from both of them. The 3-gate from Azura is a little bit more on the safe side. I think given Control's reputation, that's pretty fair. As we do see all that scouting Reaper getting 2 probe kills. That's really nice damage for a unit that doesn't really have too much left to do.
Yeah, exactly. So nice damage done by Control, and I do appreciate that he's kind of maybe working with his reputation a little bit by just not being too aggressive initially. He's going for his 3-1-1 setup. He's going for a mine drop across the map for some scanning information, for some damage as well. It is really cool to see Azura just, adapt over the course of this game and respecting Control quite a bit.
Yeah, that's right. Meanwhile, though, from Control, we do have a Liberator coming, so this is going to be pretty interesting. There are some old school builds that start like this, where you go for a bit of a tank push with 2 tanks and some SCVs on the 3rd, and you have the Liberator come in at the same time. So I wonder if that's what he's going for.
Yeah, we'll see if he does bring it all together. Meanwhile, the mine drop does come in. 2 workers are going to be going down. One of them, unfortunately, does go into the gas geyser. So not the most amount of damage, but we at least confirm not just that Blink is done, but also that another upgrade is being researched on the Twilight Council.
Yeah, so should be pretty sure that he's not getting all in. He did see the 3rd earlier as well. But at the same time, yeah, not the best mine drop. So I think Azura is going to be pretty happy with that so far. And this is where we're just going to be seeing that explosion into 8 gates, maybe a Robo Bay as well for some Colossus. And looks like both players looking to play a fairly standard game.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Liberator does rock up, is going to deny some mining time here, and the Stalkers are a little bit out of position, so the Liberator can wreak a little bit of extra havoc here across the map, but there's no kind of like multi-pronged harassment, so this shouldn't get too out of hand.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It does force an extra Stalker warp in, and it's just at a very odd timing. You're not really expecting anything like this after you've defended the mine drop as a Protoss. Usually nothing more is going to be coming across the map for at least another 2 or 3 minutes, so it's a little bit tricky and out of left field coming out from Control. I kind of like it. I think it's something that's going to be nice on the next patch as well, as we see a little bit less reliance on Ravens.
Yeah, exactly. As you were kind of mentioning as well, it does kind of throw Azura a little bit off beat as well, just because of the additional warp ins and the extra resources spent back at home instead. Meanwhile, now Azura can focus on the front lines and gets a couple of Marines, gets the bunker, but the tank positioning here is looking pretty damn good, and Control is looking to take a 3rd.
Yeah, Control going to throw down that 3rd on location as well. That is going to stretch his defense a little bit thin, but because of the 3-gate opening of Azura, he's not going to be having an attack coming in very soon. His economy is a little bit more delayed than that of a 2-gate blink opener, but meanwhile we do see actually quite a lot of tanks coming out from Control, so he might be looking to set up a siege position on the 3rd.
Yeah, he's up to 4 tanks already, which is pretty intense. It's pretty impressive here. We'll see if Control is able to make use of them. For the time being, he's still waiting on Stim. Stim is still on the way, combat shields as well, so we're waiting for our upgrades to really swing into this before we can really be too active on the map.
Yeah, okay, so he's just going to be pulling back and just solidifying the position here before he goes for anything too aggressive. I really like the way that he's playing this, playing it out quite a lot more slowly than the last game. I do know that Control, he really likes to get multi-prong going with lots of little drops when he plays against Terran, so I'm curious if he plays similarly against Protoss. It's kind of, the way that he's got this set up kind of reminds me of how Dream used to play, where he would kind of set up a very defensive position with tanks and then just attack with drops.
Yeah, and we'll see if that's what he goes for. Definitely could be a bit of a Dream fan as well, as we do have the double drop moving out towards the south. We do see some more medevacs on the way as well to continue that aggression. Control back at home, he's working on his additional Raxes. We have a Ghost Academy on the way as well, so yeah, everything's looking as it should really for Control. Again, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, maybe even hoping that his opponent pushes into him.
Yeah, which looks like might be what's happening. Azura's played a really interesting style here. He actually skipped out on his upgrades completely so that he could get some extra immortals with this push and go for a really beefy mid-game push. And he is going to have those extra units, but his upgrades are so delayed. He's got double forge coming now, but here we go. Chaos going to completely break out as we do have the double drop hitting the main and Azura starting to attack at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. We do see Azura is forced to recall all the way back home, so the drop is going to be deflected. At the same time, we have another push heading towards that natural base. These forges, they just finished. As you mentioned, there is 0-0 right now, and one of them does get sniped. Up.
Yeah, both forges probably going to be going down. The Marauder's going to be able to shoot that down very quickly. We are going to be losing quite a bit of that bio, but that is a huge advantage the Control is going to have for the rest of the game now, as that 1-1 is very heavily delayed.
It is, but at the same time, we do have Zealots still wreaking havoc in the main base. 15 SCVs do go down. Reinforcements have not been enough, and here we go. Azura is now going for a massive counterattack, hunting down some of those drops as well. These tanks are exposed.
Yeah, Zealot's going to be getting on top of the tanks. Not really that much bio here to protect it. Control did send so much of his bio across the map to get that multi-prong going, and now he's been punished for it, and GG. Just like that.
GG, well played. Azura does fight back, does put a point on the board, and catches Control maybe being a little bit too aggressive. Not just going for a couple of drops, but literally sending all of his bio across the map.
Yeah, I do think this is a trap that Control can occasionally fall into. He really likes being aggressive, setting up multi-prong and just kind of bashing away at his opponent. But when you do put all those eggs into attack, sometimes your defense is a little bit lacking. And Azura going for almost an all-in style of his own, delaying all those upgrades to get the big army.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, sure, Control, he was able to snipe those forges as well, but, like, I mean, we weren't really focusing on the upgrades anyway, and maybe he should have, yeah, had the foresight to have recognized that, you know, the army's not quite in position, or, yeah, something along those lines. As you mentioned, right, like, Control just maybe a little bit too trigger-happy, a little bit too aggressive, hurting himself in the end.
Yeah, true. But that does make things really interesting, because now we have a 1-1 score, and yeah, after watching that game, I do feel like these two players are very evenly matched, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see how this story does end, as game number 3 is going to be on Neo Humanity.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm surprised Control let Neo Humanity through, and I think he might have a cheeky build for it.
Oh.
As a Protoss, if I was playing against a Terran and they let this map through, I would immediately be thinking that they're going to go for a one base all in or something like that.
We have seen one base all ins on this map in the past, even at like the highest level of play. So we'll see if Control does go for something like that or has something else cheeky in store for us.
Yeah, that's right. As here we go. We are spawning in on Neo Humanity, and the green Protoss in the top left just tied things up. This is Azura.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Terran player. It is Control.
It's a good green. Looks good with the Nexus.
Yeah, it's nice. Are those
like lime green?
Are those eggs? What is that?
Where? The blue things?
No, the clan logo.
Oh, I can't really see it. But yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. Look, you said put all the eggs in your basket earlier, and now I just want to eat some eggs.
Yeah, that wasn't on purpose.
Okay.
I mean, with the green Nexus, maybe they're Yoshi eggs.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yoshi?
Yeah.
Yoshi?
Okay. If you like.
I do like it. I do like it. I haven't played Mario in years, Sparky. It's been a long time.
Yeah, no, I was never a Nintendo kid, but I feel like, I don't know. I'd have to ask someone who's owned Nintendos as their console. Is it like, I feel like you can't have it as your main console. Like, I would play it at a friend's house,
yeah,
and I'd be like, yeah, that's kind of all I needed. Like, I didn't really need to like play any more than that. I get the idea. You like play a few rounds of Mario Kart, and you're like, yeah, I get it. It's fun.
Yeah. I've never owned a Nintendo. Oh no, not true. I had a Game Boy. I guess I had the Game Boy, and and now I have a Switch. True. But like they had Zelda. You know, they had Zelda back in the day, right?
That's true. And Metroid.
Yeah. There's some gems.
That's a good game. It's true.
Have you played Zelda?
No, I haven't played any amount of any Zeldas. Okay. I don't know how I've missed it, but yeah.
I feel like that's like up your alley. I could be crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Did you play Darksiders? Do you know what that is?
That's the one that's like a God of War ripoff, right?
Kind of, yeah.
No.
Okay, no.
No.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to think of those kind of games that I played. I played God of War. I played Infamous. Maybe that's similar.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like Assassin's Creed?
Sure.
Kind of. Like, it's a bit of a stretch, but like,
yeah. He's got a hood, you know, he's got like a tunic.
it's a similar gameplay loop, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, maybe not. You can say no, it's fine.
Okay, that's fine. We're going for a proxy armory, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. Yo, Thor's?
Oh, it's
Bobby?
Thor's, yeah.
Yo, let's go!
100%. But there's no starport, so it's just gonna walk them across. I've never seen this.
He's gonna waddle the Thors. It's near humanity, Poppy. It's a short one. He's.
It is the Neo Humanity build. That's what we're seeing right here. This is cool.
Does she do this on the?
Oh, don't let him in.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Wait.
Didn't let it through.
Making a mine.
Wait. What?
It's a mine drop. It's a mine drop.
No, it's definitely the Thor build. It's just slower. Because this is normally a 1-base build, but it's going to be really well hidden by being a 2-base build.
Yeah. No, we can
Drilling
drilling claws.
claws. Oh, let's go.
He's crazy.
That's right. He is crazy.
Okay.
I've been told that this is a thing that Terrans do, but I thought it was just people balance whining about the change to drilling claws.
You're like, I thought it was a myth. I thought it was a legend. I never thought I could see it, Poppy. Oh.
Well, I thought it was just Protoss players making things up. I thought they were lying. I didn't believe them.
Oh my god. I mean, we'll see how this all comes together here. It's really interesting, right? Because he's working on drilling claws, that means he's only making one mine at a time. We will have detection across the map as well.
Yeah.
But if you're committing this hard, and if you have 2 orbitals, like, mate, oh man, he could even try to snipe the mine. Snipe the observer.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird. The drop's going to be extremely late.
Yeah.
This kind of drop off at double gas would be hitting like 50 seconds ago. Off a single gas, you can be hitting at like 4:30 sort of thing. So it's incredibly late, which should already be fairly suspicious for Azura, and also means that he's going to have extra observers out. I mean, you can potentially have 2 or 3 observers out at this point. The bit that's going to be really weird and surprising and that might get extra damage is drilling claws, because it just, as a Protoss, you know the timing that normally happens, and you kind of want to pull your probes almost a little bit late.
Yeah, and no! As the medivac goes down, the Widowmite goes down as well, and no damage is done.
No way. Oh, that's disastrous.
Oh, that's it.
That's actually kind of devastating, and I mean, that's why you don't want your mine drop coming in late, because when it does come in late like that, there's going to be extra stalkers, a lot more stalkers than usual, and looks like Control's actually going to be doubling down. He wants to make mines 2 at a time from here.
Okay, yeah, there we go. We do have mines. I mean, he has to, right? Like, he's invested so much into this as he's going to be scanning. No, the observer escapes.
Yeah, the Observer getting away on such low health. Things are just not going well for Control this game, and he's going to have to try to get some drops going across the map, but I feel like he's just so far behind now. He's delayed so many different parts of his game, and Azura's been able to get the 3rd Nexus up and running quite comfortably without taking any damage so far.
Okay, so the upside here, as I believe Azura did see both medivacs moving out, or at least one of the medivacs moving out, is I don't think he's aware of how committed this is. Like, right? Like, I don't think he knows about drilling claws or obviously the armory either. So like this could potentially still catch him off guard. This could potentially still do a lot of damage, but the observer is kept at home with the main army. Yeah,
I mean, the observer's back at home. We definitely can still get damage with this. The main thing that I'm concerned about is now that we're on 3 Nexuses and we've had time to build up Chrono, we can just remake these probes.
Oh, we can, but 9 probes are going to be going down in the main base. We do have Marines here at the natural. They are going to be cleaned up, but meanwhile, does Azura notice what's going on? Okay, we do have a cannon on the way in the main.
Yeah, Cannon's going to be coming down. We also see that the medevac gets out. That's going to be really important for Control to try to keep these medevacs alive because he just doesn't have that many at the moment. And we don't want to see a repeat of that last game where the multi-prong kind of ends up killing him as he throws away a lot of his own units. So hopefully he can preserve a few more units this time.
Yeah, fingers crossed here as he's just building up his army. Third base is being taken. Azura still has a pretty hefty economy and is now working on a second robo and the robotics bay for so double Colossus production is on the horizon here for Azura. This is gonna get a little bit out of control, especially considering that like we are throwing away a little wind mines as well. So Control's army is gonna be a little bit worse off for the time being.
Yeah, but I really like the double robo and the double upgrades. Azura's being a little bit greedy, and I think 4 probes going down. I think that's a good choice considering the fact that Control is delaying his attack by so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like as you were saying, Azura is going to be able to get away with the double Colossus being produced at a time. We do see it looks like Control does catch wind of the Zealot run by, so he's at least aware of that, and he's going to slowly be getting into his game here. We have a Ghost Academy on the way, some Rexes. Unfortunately, no tanks because of all that those mines. Like he just doesn't really have a backbone to his army. He's got 1 tank here at the natural.
Yeah, just the 1 tank, so he's not really going to be able to abuse some of the defensive properties of this map. Meanwhile, Azura getting up that 4th, and yeah, like you were saying, getting the double Colossus production going. I feel like a very good choice for this map just because there's so many narrow chokes that you have to go through to make attacks here.
Yeah, exactly. So that just means these Colossi that much more effective, less potential for surrounds or for any kind of flanking on those Colossi. Meanwhile, the job play is upon us.
It is, and the Observer right on cue just kind of pokes over, has a little look at what's going on, says, okay, nice, enjoy that. And yeah, Control going to be trying to get this multi-prong going, but the Stalkers are coming out to meet it. Oh, Control not quite realizing that he had been spotted despite taking out the Observer afterwards, and 3 medevacs full go down. That's just about game ending considering that 2-2 is on the way.
That is game ending damage here for Control. Not ideal. I mean, I appreciate that he was going for the drop, but as you mentioned, like he should have respected his opponent a little bit more upon seeing that Observer, recognizing that he had been spotted. And now Control, I mean, he's still trying to be active on the map, but he has so much less to work with.
Yeah, that's right. And it is a numbers game at the moment because he's going up against so many Colossus. And the map really just doesn't play to his favor either. There's not really a good way for him to be able to sneak a drop into the main just because he's so well covered here. But okay, we are going to be pushing back the Prism. That's a lot of turrets. He's very well prepared for that.
You know, yeah, like he killed the Prism, which was nice, but as you said, there was a really big investment here into these turrets, so maybe an even trade in the end sort of thing, as we do have the double jump head towards that main base. Likewise, the double jump head towards the natural, but no, we do see Azura in position at the natural at least. What about the main?
Ooh, okay, it's getting in the main, and we have double upgrades here. They are exposed. The attack might go down. If +2 attack goes down right before it finishes, oh, that's a huge deny here for Control.
Yeah, very well done. Meanwhile, 1 jump gets picked up, but the other will survive the mines. Also going to be able to reset his... Oh, never mind. Oh my god. They would have reset, but looks like Azura does have eyes on them.
Yeah, going to be getting a little bit fancy with it, shooting some of his own Stalkers there as the Observer does come out afterwards, and the Stalkers are going to be a bit sad about that, but that's all right.
It's like, the Stalker, they didn't die. It's fine. They just they lost a couple of legs. It's okay.
They just got slapped around a little bit.
Yeah.
And they see the Observer fly past and they're like, you just did that for fun, didn't you?
Wait, what was this for? What did I sacrifice for this? It's like, oh, it's okay. They liked it, though. They liked it. It's nice.
These are the light VIP Colossus telling the Stalkers that they liked it.
Yeah. As Drop is going to be coming back in, 4th base is up and running, and Azura was in the midst of attacking, but is going to back off for a moment here as both drops come in.
Yeah, really nice counterattacks by Control. Sees that the army is at his doorstep and realizes it's the best time to go for this. And wow, he is actually causing a huge reaction out of Azura, so very well played by him.
Yeah, exactly. The robotics bay gets sniped. One of the robots goes down as well, so very nice snipes here from a Control, but he doesn't deal with any of the main army, just cripples or just disrupts the production in some way, shape, or form. Control, though, is catching up in the army supply. He's a little bit behind, but he's, you know, reaching that 200.
Yep, and he does have this setup here at the front where there's a lot of dead space around for those Vikings to sit on. So it can be a really difficult position to attack into with Colossus.
It really can be. Looking at the unit type here, we have 13 Vikings available up against 4 Colossi as the army moves out. Once again, the drop comes back in, forcing a reaction, but this time Azura is pushing forward.
Yeah, he is looking to push in. He sees the Viking count, and he is going to be backing off at the same time. We have that counterattack going in. Prism gets shot down in a single volley, and this drop once again getting a lot of damage here as Control just continues to throw down expansions on location. So he is really looking to abuse the momentum that he's creating with these counterattacks.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that it's done so much here. I mean, this one didn't really do too much damage, but it just forced a reaction out of Azura, forces his attention to be split between his bases, and now suddenly Control, he's back in this.
He's in control.
Oh, I see what you did there. We're going in.
As we are going to be taking a big fight. Massive EMPs blanketing the entire army, which means these Colossus would just be going down so quickly. The Stalkers still at the back here, taking out all of the Vikings. So we're going to be trading the Vikings out for the Colossus in a very adventurous forward blink, but looks like he's got enough.
Yeah, Azura, he does take some massive EMPs to the face, but he has an overwhelming force of Stalkers. He's pushing him forward within range of the tank, though, and without shields, these Stalkers are looking a little bit vulnerable. The Zelts are going down. The boys are being pulled.
Yeah, another forward blink into the tank. We have the Immortals. The blink back, it looks like he wasn't quite thinking about that because he does expose these Immortals and 2 of them go down. Those were so important for keeping this position together, but we should be able to reinforce with some Zealots from home now.
Yeah, the Zelts, they do arrive in the end. Azura's going to be able to maintain his position here outside these bases. Control, meanwhile, getting his left-hand base up and running. And, oh my god, that's that's a lot of DTs, Papi. Oh.
Yeah. This is where you want to turn money into a game being over.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
He's like, you're like,
I wish Sharon could do that.
You're like, Azura, he wants to win the game, Papi.
Yeah. And he's actually going to be holding on to this as well. I really like that. He does have DT Blink, so as soon as Control shows himself on the map and shows that he is, paying attention to something else, those DTs are just going to run in and snipe that base.
Oh yeah, exactly. They're ready to go on in. At the same time, we do have a massive Doom Drop headed towards the main base here of Azura as well. So we may trade a base for a base, but we do have a very quick warp in of Stalkers, and one of those Medivacs is going to be going down.
Yeah, great warp in. The SimCity, they're working against Control a little bit. He couldn't quite find a place to drop those units, but he's just going to snipe out the Templar Archives and then get on out of there. He might be trapped here, though, and there we go. The DTs do come in at the perfect time, sniping down the PF, while Control is too busy to repair.
Yeah, exactly. The repair was not fast enough. The base goes down. Meanwhile, the drop is still alive, but stuck here in between all these bases. There are Stalkers all around, not allowing this to get out. And the DTs, they survive. Liberators have also hit the field, though. We have how many? 4 Liberators already, and that will change things.
Yeah, the Liberators, they're a bit late to save the PF, but they're trying. It's kind of like, when you're working, but you're playing on your phone or something and you weren't quite paying attention, and your boss comes in and you're just like, you jump back on the task. And they're like, I saw you not doing it before. It doesn't work like that.
How many times did that happen, Asher?
It happened a lot when I was working in hospitality.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's. Was this when you were working at the cafe? Is that?
Yes, it is when I was working at the cafe. You can kind of sit under the counter and the customers couldn't really see you, so you could just.
You can pretend you were gone.
You just pretend you're working. Yeah.
Oh, God. And
then the boss would come back in and I'd jump back onto the coffee machine, but you can't really hide that there's like 12 orders waiting.
Oh. Asher. it's fine, they got their coffee at the end of the day.
They got
right?
their coffee in the end.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
And students, they don't want to work anyway. I'm just giving them a longer break.
True. And here we go. You see Control pushing on forward. Big EMPs on the next. He's going to be able to target it down. That's a lot of Marauders, by the way.
Yeah, so many Marauders, so many Liberators as well. Control was just coming for the base, but looks like he's confident that he can skirmish a little bit as well. The Super Battery not going to be saving him there. Nice quick lift is going to be saving his units from the DT's Control, creating a huge amount of chaos all at once. And he is really having his way here with Azura, and he is starting to get the job done.
Yeah, exactly. The center base does go down. The DTs, they deny a base, sure, but it's not going to be enough here as we do see Control pulling back to the safety of that Liberator. The jump into the main base still doing damage as well.
Yeah, he's going to be forcing a warp in the main there, also pulling away Azura's attention. So if he wanted to, target fire down that Liberator or anything like that, it becomes a bit more stressful to do so. And Azura really struggling for bases now. He is stuck on 4 bases while Control just continues to dominate them out.
Oh, meanwhile, we have carriers on the way. Oh my god. The fleet beacon is done. We have 3 carriers being made at a time. We have 3 disruptors being made at a time as well. So suddenly Azura's army is about to be that much more high quality, but we'll see if he can get there, as it looks like there just aren't enough Marauders. It looks like Control is being forced back.
Yeah, super tech heavy army coming out from Azura. I like that he still has a couple of Immortals as well, especially against such a Marauder heavy army. Both Immortals and Disruptors going to be fantastic here. I think the main issue is just going to be map control and vision for him. Looks like Azura hasn't quite replaced his map vision, so he's going to be getting caught off guard by this 2-prong attack.
Yeah, exactly. As once again, we go into some of the disruptors. One of them does go down. Nova's going to be going off. The splits are not quite there, but we only connect with 2 Marauders as the center base. That's a kill, not a cancel on the Nexus.
Base goes down, probes going down as well. Huge attack going down on the left. The DTs are not enough to clean that up. We have a bit of a base trade going here, but I'm not sure how much I like that for the Protoss. Azura, he tends to agree. We'll be recalling everything back home.
He recalls, but that base was sniped, by the way, so the recall does not go off. Meanwhile, we have another disruptor going to be focused down. The army turns back around as well, coming from behind.
Yeah, there's units absolutely everywhere, and I feel like this is exactly the kind of game that suits Control, but at the same time, these carriers have hit the field. We are going to be having the Stalkers chasing down these medevacs. Only 3 will be getting out here, and looks like we have a pretty nice lead for Control, but will he be able to mount a defense for the carriers?
Can he mount him? I mean, for the time being, we have more Vikings on the way, Marauders as well. There aren't too many carriers. They don't have too many interceptors as well, so it looks like Control, he's going to be able to hold on, and Azura, he recognizes that he is going to back off.
Yeah, and I mean, Control is sitting here on 5 bases, so he might have just done enough here to secure the game. He has the Liberators defending those PFs as well. Looks like Control is very comfortable in this phase of the game.
Yeah, exactly. His army is still looking terrifying as well, and there's a lot of potential in what Azura has, but as we can see, there's just no buffer, there's no support. We do have 1 flanking disruptor coming in, though. There's a world, if he lands 1 good Nova, maybe he can take a fight. Up!
Yeah, the Nova does come out, but the concave for Control is fantastic. He's jumping on top of everything. Everything on the ground goes down, and now these carriers are in trouble as well. It looks like he might have just done enough, but actually the anti-air is quite lacking.
Yeah, the Marines are going down, but it looks like 1 carrier will fall. The Vikings are putting in a lot of work right now, and it looks like it is going to be enough. Second, third carrier falls. GG gets called, and Control takes the series.
GG. Fantastic last game between these 2 players. And Control just doing what he does best. Crazy counterattacks. I feel like there was that one key moment where Azura pushed out across the map with everything, and Control managed to bring him home with 2 drops at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that's when it changed, when the game changed, because Azura was in such a good spot before that.
Yeah, I think we were both really shocked when Azura turned back around, right? Like, it didn't look like the drops were too threatening. Like, we did have warpins available back at home as well, but Azura bringing everything back at home, he kind of misses timing. He misses opportunity to punish Control and really stop him before his economy got out of control. So there you go.
One snuck through. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, just a really sick game from these players, and yeah, Control is really well timed. I feel like that's kind of his style. That's how he makes this work. Is he has these counterattacks constantly poking you, backstabbing you, keeping you at home, and the double expand at the same time was kind of the winning move.
Oh yeah, it really was. He got away with the double expansions. He got away with just buying time and building up his forces as well. He got away with that like mass marauder army. And you could also argue as well that maybe Azura was a little bit too risky trying to tech up so heavily and going to like mass carrier, mass disruptor in such a fashion as well. Maybe cutting too many corners, maybe neglecting his main army a little bit too much.
Yeah, that is true as well. Anytime you tech into carriers like that, if you're not really far ahead in map control and on the map and in bases, it can leave you a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, it really can, as we saw. But regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to Control for taking the series. A shout out to Azura, because we don't get to see him too often, and it was really cool to see him competing, of course, tonight, and really going toe-to-toe with Control.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at least from the start of that game, things were looking really good. It's just keeping on top of that momentum was the only thing that really went wrong. But yeah, meanwhile, we are going to be having Control progressing on, and he will be facing Cristiano next.
There we go. Cristiano, the Polish Protoss player, is going to be going up next against Control. !B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, because we have a lot of updates.